Hi, it's Lisa.
And David.
And we're gonna make something we've been making all the time now, and that is chili fries, no oil, vegan, whole food, plant-based, that are out of this world.
Yum, delicious.
Okay, so I used to love something called chili cheese fries from, what's the name of the restaurant?
Johnny Rockets.
Johnny Rockets. And these scratch the same itch. They are so good. I can't even believe that they're so super duper healthy. So we're gonna do them in the Instant Pot, and while we do them, we're gonna be sharing with you a bunch of other websites that have great recipes that we've kind of pulled different parts of this recipe from. So we'll be doing a demo and introducing you to some great websites along the way.
Sounds great.
Okay, so we're gonna do it in the Instant Pot, but there's gonna be a link to the main recipe of Jill Dalton, which is where we got the base of this recipe. She has a version that's non-Instant Pot, so you can follow that along. Are you ready to saute?
I'm ready.
Okay, so the first step is to just saute in the Instant Pot an onion. And I like to buy them pre-chopped because I don't like to cry. So David, if you'll just start sauteing that would be perfect. And we're using red onions instead of white because the color is the antioxidant, right? So whenever we have the choice to switch up for the more colorful version of something, we do that.
Absolutely.
All right, so the main base of this is actually a bean soup recipe. That's from, like I said, Jill Dalton. She's got the whole food plant-based cooking show, and that will be linked up right below this along with the specific recipe for her black bean soup. She uses these Rancho Gordo beans, but any dry black beans would work. So these beans are really versatile, and we've made them into chili fries. We've made them into burritos with rice. We've served them on Oat Groats, which is another channel I want to mention, is the Nutmug Notebook YouTube channel. And she has a recipe for oat groats. And oat groats are like the full oat before it's broken down into oatmeal or steel cut oats. It's a very whole oat. They have a little bit of a sweet taste to them. And unlike rice, which has the arsenic problem, they don't have that problem. So serving this chili over that kind of serves like beans and rice, but without arsenic. And we should mention, we just dump that onion in without any oil or anything. And if it gets dry and starts to stick or burn, we just add a little bit of water or vegetable broth. No oil sauteing.
Just say no to oil.
Yes. The French fry part of this recipe we got from Anne and Jane Esselstyn, who are adorable. I want to adopt them as part of my family. And they said that giving up oil out of all the things to do to be healthier is one of the easiest things to do because you just throw it out and you never need it again. I think that actually I found that to be pretty true.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't know you can make French fries without oil.
Yeah. So it's about 1 onion, and then it calls for 2 cloves of garlic. I've actually got 4 here because
Oh, wow.
I figure you can't get enough.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'm gonna add the garlic in now. It is a lot of garlic. And just add garlic to taste. Smells really good, right?
Yep. Delicious.
The actual sauteing and prep and hands-on time of this recipe is pretty short, but then it has to cook for quite a while, pressure cook, since they're dry beans. So it's definitely something to plan a little bit ahead and then, you know, make a big batch and use it for days.
How do you know when the garlic and is also ready? Now that this
It'll be aromatic but not brown.
aromatic but not brown? Okay.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna turn off the saute feature. And what we're gonna do is add the rest of the ingredients and then let it pressure cook. The ingredients are 1 box or can of tomatoes. And then, thank you. We're gonna do vegetable stock. And I'm gonna put about half of it in for now and then add the rest of the stuff and see how much more we need to make sure there's enough liquid. So we'll do half of that.
Would you like to show them what kind of stock you're using?
Oh, this is the Engine 2. And again, I mentioned earlier, Jane Esselstyn has a channel that is my favorite. She cooks with her mom, and this is her brother's brand, the Engine 2. You get it at Whole Foods. And it's just automatically, you don't even have to worry or check the labels if it's Engine 2. It's low sodium and plant strong. So they differentiate between plant perfect and plant strong. And plant perfect doesn't have nuts or things that could be dangerous for people with heart disease, but the plant strong has a little bit of nuts and things like that, but the rest of it is very pure and completely in line with plant pure. So Engine 2. We get their hummus all the time too, because it doesn't have oil or tahini, and you can use it in a million recipes.
Not based on how many push-ups I can do, right?
No.
Yeah.
I have never ever tried so many recipes from one YouTube channel as I have Jane Esselstyn's, and every single one of them is off the charts amazing. And then we'll do 1 package of black beans dry. And again, if you didn't have a pressure cooker and wanted to take a shortcut on this, you could probably just use a can of beans. I'm pretty sure that would work out well. And then this deviates a little bit from Jill's version of the beans in that I put a whole tube of tomato paste, and it's to try to get that savory umami flavor that makes it really rich. I mean, her recipe is perfect just the way it is. I just kind of riffed and ended up liking this, so we'll do it this way. So Jill Dalton's got a downloadable cookbook, and then Jane Esselstyn and Ann Esselstyn have the Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease cookbook. I tried last time throwing in a few sun-dried tomatoes, and they were really good. And so this time I'm just gonna put the whole rest of the pack in, because why not? We'll see how that tastes. And then the last thing is cumin. Unless you want it to be really spicy, you could throw in a jalapeno or some cayenne. And I don't know how much this is. Tell me if you can tell, because I usually just do it al loho. Add as much cumin as you like. So let's give that one last stir. And then we're going to seal this up. And then we're going to put it onto sealing because we're going to pressure cook. So I'm going to hit cancel, manual, and then I'm going to set the pressure cooking timer to 50 minutes, 50. And then that's just going to do its thing. And while it does, we'll get our French fries ready to bake. So now we're going to show you how we make the French fry part of these chili fries. And Ann and Jane Esselstyn had a French fry cutter mounted to their wall. And we're saying how great it is for using to cut perfect little sticks. And so I tried to buy one, and the first one I tried to buy was like an apple slicer.
Oh wow.
But I pushed down on it the very first cut, and it just exploded pieces all over the kitchen. It was a $4 thing I found. And so then I ordered what was supposed to be a restaurant grade, and this is what came in the mail, this humongous thing, which works really well, but is really hard to clean.
Yeah, it is.
Because the pieces don't come off. So I'm wondering how Ann and Jane get theirs clean, given that it's also mounted to the wall. They must have a really good trick. So if anyone knows how to clean these, please let me know. But what we do is we just make the French fry cuts with this. And if you didn't have a French fry cutter, you just cut the potatoes into slices like you would any other vegetable. And David is our official French fry cutter because it takes some muscle. So we've just got organic russet potatoes here. We've also used Yukon Gold, and that worked pretty well too, but these I thought had the best flavor in our taste test.
Stretch.
Yeah, I'm gonna move so I don't get... Perfect. French fry number 1. They come out really nicely in little perfect French fry pieces.
Yeah. Keep the French fries, each little one, away from the next one, because that way it actually cooks better and it's crunchier.
Yeah, so I just have a cookie sheet lined with a sill mat, however you say that. It's basically a non-disposable parchment that stuff doesn't stick to. And I would say when we make this that I eat at least 2 to 3 potatoes worth of French fries every time we cook this.
That's true.
They're so good.
Say about 2 or 3 of these guys.
These fries are good just by themselves or with, there's some spicy, very kind of clean ketchup that we found at Whole Foods. And these are really good dipped in spicy ketchup or just by themselves. Now, the original recipe that we'll link up on Ann and Jane's site, it calls for putting some delicious seasoning, whatever you like garlic or onion powder, cayenne. We've sometimes put smoked paprika, but we found that they're really good just by themselves and then get the spice in the ketchup. So that's the latest trend around here.
They are. They're very good without anything on them.
When the beans are done with the pressure cooking, we're going to use a natural release method, which just means instead of pushing the nozzle and letting the steam come out, we're just going to let the pressure come down by itself. And that takes about 20 or 30 minutes. So that's a perfect amount of time to start cooking the French fries. So we'll just leave these ready, and then when the timer's done and it starts to release pressure, then we can put these in a 400-degree oven. So we'll take a break while this is cooking, and then when we come back, we'll whip up the fries, and then we'll show you how we put it all together.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back. We had the French fries in at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. We had a little bit of an incident, but the French fries are done. We also caught the other tray on fire, and literally the fire department just came by. We're gonna salvage what we can of the fries just to show you how we normally do this. We actually each build our bowls a little bit differently, but we'll show you one way. So arugula, and then we load in the French fries, extra smoky French fries, and then this has a little stand there. And then, I don't know if you can get a load of the beans. They're really smelling good. So then we put the chili, bean/chili on top of the fries. And then we like to top it with some mango salsa that we buy just pre-made, and it's just got mangoes, cucumbers, red onions, peppers. You can make your own if your store doesn't have any. And I like a lot of that on there. And then I will just cut a few pieces of scallion on top. I don't know if you want me to cut out avocado for you.
No, thank you. That's
okay.
Perfect.
Sometimes we add avocado. Oh, and then the last but not least, this is our cashew cayenne sauce, and the link to this is in the description box below too. And I'll just drizzle that over the top. So voila.
Perfect.
Ready to eat.
Yeah.
After quite a bit of fanfare. We love these. It's really filling, it's healthy, delicious. The links to all of the recipes that we reference in this video are all in the description box, so make sure you check those out. This channel is for us to give and share back and forth tips, tricks, and pointers for the adventure of everyday life, so subscribe before you go, and check out our sister channel, happinessadventure.com as well.
Thank you.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.